I'm not going to speak very long because most of you have heard me talk about liquefied natural gas in the past, and you've received information from time to time, updates about the efforts that our community has been engaged in for over 5 years now to challenge the Washington Gas Company in its attempt to build a processing plant in the heart of our dense neighborhood, which makes no sense. Well,
where?
On Chilton Road, West High School. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you said the big tank, the tore down.
Right.
Right there.
Okay. So anyway, my purpose for asking Joe for a little bit of time on the agenda tonight is to just kind of give you an update, because I mean, really, the month of April is quite amazing in terms of the information that came out, the activity that's going on in this campaign, and so I wanted you to know about it and also appeal to you for each of you to search your resources and your neighbors and members and so on to see if you can help us out a little bit, and I'll get to what that is. As I said, we've been struggling for 5.5 years, and the gas company keeps going from one source to another source to try to get, push their thoughts. And we have defeated them at every level so far. The zoning process, they got turned back in that. They went to district court at one point. The federal court is still pending, but there was at the beginning of April a judge's ruling in the federal court that basically told them they didn't have a chance of winning, and I mean, she certainly couldn't stop them from proceeding in a trial, but she thought that they were not going to prevail. Basically, they were challenging jurisdictional authority, whether the federal government or even the state system has precedence over the county's zoning process. They're just trying everything. At this point, for a year now, and what we're really in a pitch battle at is Public Service Commission, which I think I've mentioned in the past, because that's been going on for a year, but it has now gotten to a point where it's really heating up. It was kind of a slow-moving process at first, but now it's really on a roll. There are about 5 or 6 deadlines and due dates between now and August the 2nd in this process, because it's like going to court, even though it's not a court, but it's like going to court. You have your discovery phase, and you have to submit testimonies in writing, and you have to people can challenge your exhibits. All this is in writing. Before you even get to the oral testimonies, which is going to be in the middle of June, a whole week in June, there will be hearings every single day, all day, on this matter. In Baltimore, you have to go to Baltimore. Then there are rebuttals. Then there are briefs that are due. And then there are counter briefs and reply briefs. And then after all of that, then the hearing examiner, which is like a judge, will make a ruling in the early fall. So it's a very arduous process, which, quite frankly, had I ever realized how formal and how difficult and how expensive it is, because you got to pay to play. This is not cheap. I might have had second thoughts about jumping into this pool.
But you'd have still done it.
Probably.
I wasn't there. You'd have still done it.
Because this is the Olympics. This is not the neighborhood pool, okay? This is the Olympics. But anyway, this month was last month I should say, there are a lot of very interesting things, and that's why that has come out. All the information is coming out, because when you push these people and challenge them, they must divulge certain information. And also, it has forced different levels of government and government agencies to come out with some information that they really had sort of, I don't want to say they were hiding it before, but they hadn't really,
About it. They've had several
they
opportunities.
hadn't addressed it. I'll give you an example. April the 14th, all of the players, they call them interveners, had to provide testimonies, okay? Which included the county, has all their high-priced lawyers, the Office of the People's Counsel, which is a state agency, you know, involved with utility matters. We're an intervener, and I say we because actually I've registered as an individual and also on behalf of my civic association, which is being challenged, but that's all another matter. Anyway, I'll just give an example. The office of the, mind you, the gas company has put in, and has to put in every year, their 5-year plan. So every year they have to go and say, this is what I want to do, plan to do for the next 5 years to make sure I provide gas, right? At no point has anybody, not the People's Council, not the county, nobody, has challenged them. Until we, and I say we because it was people like yourself, our state senator, and our delegates and so on, who wrote letters to the Public Service Commission and demanded that we get some kind of a hearing about their plan this year, or no, last year, the year before actually. But all in history, nobody had ever challenged their 5-year plan. And so, but because we did, now the various government people listening again to our issues, our protests, reading the newspaper articles and seeing the little rallies and all that stuff, they have started submitting questions of the gas company and submitting information. The Office of the People's Counsel, it was pretty amazing. Now in all this time, their testimony basically said that the gas company has been wasting our money as gas customers, because their testimony says that they have been just storing extra gas unnecessarily, a high quantity that they really don't need, and that because they've been storing this stuff up and buying this stuff up, that they've been wasting our money, everybody in this room who's a gas customer. Not just our neighborhood, but everybody in the gas company service area. And anybody who's interested in seeing that, I'm pretty sure I have it on my computer. All these documents are large documents, so I don't send out everything because they're just huge. They'll slow your computer up, kill your computer, really, all these different things. The county attorneys, now mind you, in the past, they've never challenged the gas company either. And now, some of their key findings in their testimony, check this out. They're saying that, quite the contrary, Washington Gas has been saying all along for 5 years that the cheapest option of making sure that Brandywine, Lanham, Bowie, that whole corridor to the north and east of the county, which is really where all the growth is. And that's why there's need for more gas and more gas pressure. They have said, 5 years they've been saying, the cheapest way for us to address the supply and the pressure needs in the growing parts of the county is by building this plant on Chillam Road. And we kept saying, no, 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 we know you must have options that can do this. Okay, they said, no, no, no. Well, the county's got this highfalutin economist, expert person to do this testimony. I forgot how many pages this thing is. About, I can't even remember how many pages it is. And then a whole bunch of other pages with exhibits and stuff. Well, his findings had 6 scenarios. 6. Building the plant on Chillam Road was the most expensive option.